Hi there, I'm David Bell. We're going to look at 4 basic questions of practical theology and see how they're contextually relevant for almost any life situation, whether it's in a time of suffering or grief or pain, or whether it's in those peak experiences of joy, happiness, contentment, whatever. In all of the situations that we find ourselves, everything is about relationship. And the 4 questions, I call them the 4 primary questions of practical theology, start to explore and unpack the nature of relationship. And I think if you follow these through, you'll find that they give you a better way for living in the daily situations than you might otherwise experience. So what are these 4 questions? Put in a nutshell, the first one is, what's going on? The second one is, why is it going on? The third one is, what ought to be going on? And the fourth one, how might I personally engage with this context or situation that's arisen? So those 4 basic questions can be put into a wide variety of group situations. And as a result of looking at what's going on in the group, you start to understand how you as an individual can be transformed and transformative in the particular context. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you're the chairperson of a volunteer group. It could be the local scouts, it could be the local church. In fact, let's make it the local church. And suppose, hypothetically, a couple show up at the church, middle-aged, they throw themselves into the life and work and ethos of the congregation. You find out that they've been key players in their former parish, and after a few months, the husband says, "Look, I'd like to teach Sunday school." As the chairperson of the council, you let it be known to the other council members, and at some kind of formal meeting or other, you make that request an approved request. The first day that the gentleman shows up to teach Sunday school, a mother of one of the children in the class asks the chairperson, "Has there been a police vetting?" And at that point, the chairperson realizes that they've made a bit of an error because they didn't do that. They simply took things at face value. Now they're faced with a real pastoral dilemma because they have to institute a police check. And how's that going to affect this volunteer? Now, this kind of situation arises all the time in volunteer groups. And that's why those 4 key questions, what's going on, why is it going on, what ought to happen, what is my personal response, give a kind of realistic framework for you to start doing something about it. And if you handle this well, you will find that the situations start to become very productive, spiritually effective, and in some ways they enhance the work of the volunteer group, and they enhance the life of the individual who follows through the questions. In the rest of the series, we'll look at the questions in depth and apply them to some real-life contexts. And if you want to follow along and perhaps contribute, you can do so in my Google-based classroom, and a link for that's given here at the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow as we explore the next in this series.